Hello, Flosstube. It is day 2 of Mania, and well, so far I'm having a ball, but of course, what's not to love? I'm stitching. So I wanted to show you my progress from yesterday's. This is the Linen and Threads mystery sampler from 2017. I started working on the May bands yesterday, and as you can see here, I got the first May band completed. So I am thrilled with that. What comes next is another line of green, the dark green, like this, and then a wider band for the second part of May. I had forgotten how quickly these bands stitch up when they are just small ones like this. I probably got this done in 4 or 5 hours, so that's not bad. The next one is a little bit wider, so it's going to take a little bit longer. But it really encouraged me to work on this more, because it really doesn't take a whole lot of stitching to get each band done. And you know, when each band is done, you really feel a sense of accomplishment. So I'm going to, once Stitch Mania is over, I will definitely be working on this more consistently to get this done. One thing I forgot to tell you yesterday, I am not working the same number of repeats as the pattern calls for, you know, across the band. What's the word I'm looking for? Thinned it out a little bit so it's not quite as wide. I didn't want it to be that wide. This is going to be a huge piece to begin with, and in fact, I may be cutting out some of the bands as well, because there's some of them that I'm not as fond of as other ones, and also just to get it done. I will see as I get to the ones that I'm thinking about what I think about it and how it's coming along. But anyways, first part of May is done on the first day of Stitch Mania, so that is awesome. My project for today, do I have thread sticking to this? No. My project for today is December from Cross-Eyed Cricket. So I've had this kitted up for a while, and I am excited to start it. As I said yesterday, I'm going to be starting all of these before I start filming, just so I can, you know, the new one, just so I'm not fussing around with where the middle is on camera, because that just is, it's just too much fussing around for me to, you know, flip back and forth and figure out where things are and getting threads started and all that. So I've rearranged things a little bit here today. I've flipped my phone on its side, so hopefully that will help to keep me in the picture. I've rearranged where my light is and where the phone is sitting according to my stitching, so I'm hoping that will help. I'm working with a little bit longer of a strand here than I really prefer, so I know it's going to get knotted up, and hopefully I won't swear too badly on camera. This is a 32 count pale blue linen that I'm using. I don't know what company it is. It's something that I've had in my stash for a long time, which I seem to say a lot. I am using mostly DMC for this project. I did, the pattern calls for the letters for the word December. It calls for a thread gatherer. I think it's the Silken Colors. Yeah. I just instead chose a Gentle Arts sampler thread. 1 second. I'm using Gentle Arts sampler thread Mountain Mist. And I got a bunch of them, so I didn't know how many I would need. So I think I got 4 or 5 skeins. I hope I don't bump this thing too much. The camera, the clamp thingy that I have my phone in is like right underneath my neck. So it works in that I can see my stitching, and you can as well. I just hope I'm not bumping it too much as I'm moving around. You'll notice that I am not, even though this is a variegated thread, and it does have some nice variegation, at this point I am not doing one at a time. Since I'm only doing 2 across here, it's not that far. And the stitches just lay better when you do it, this way rather than one at a time. So wherever I can, if it makes sense to do it one at a time, I will. But, I don't always stick with that because rules. Okay, I think I'm only supposed to do 5 things down there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now I'm going to branch out to a 3. So I'm coming to you a little bit later today. This will probably be more of my normal time for filming. Right now it is, let's see, it's Wednesday the 2nd at 9:41 a.m. I started getting my act together about 9:30 or so. I did my workout this morning. We did a yoga workout this morning, my friend and I. She's still feeling a little bit icky, and I didn't want to do, we actually started a program called Chalene Extreme. These are all home workout type things. There's a really nice gym here in the apartment complex and there's a nice yoga room in the gym. So we pretty much are the only ones in there every morning. So we kind of take it over to do our workouts. We have been doing yoga for a while, and we decided we needed to increase the intensity. So Chalene Extreme is a weight training and cardio program, 90-day program by a company called Beachbody. You may have heard of them. They're very well known in the fitness industry. They are a direct marketing company that does all home workout programs. P90X is probably their most popular one. I'm actually a Beachbody coach, although I haven't really done anything with it for a while. I used to be in really good shape, and then life and some minor surgeries happened, and I'm not so much anymore. So I'm trying to get back into somewhat better shape than I am right now. But we did yoga this morning just to keep it more of a low-key workout until she is able to eat fully again and fuel her body like it needs to be for the more intense workouts. But anyway, so we did that this morning at 7:30, and then I came back to the apartment and had some breakfast. And then I had to do some shopping at Gulf Coast Stitches. This is my first order with Julie. There's been things I wanted to buy that have been out of stock, or I was on my can't buy anything end of April hiatus. So now it's May. I have money dumped in my PayPal account again, so I had to go shopping this morning at Gulf Coast Stitches. So that delayed my start a little bit, but here I am. I've been wanting to get the Sally Spencer sampler that not everybody, but a lot of people are doing the Sal for. And that has been out of stock, so luckily it was back in stock at Gulf Coast Stitches, so I went ahead and grabbed that, and I got the Ann Grader sampler by Sampler House. The Sally Spencer one is Birds of a Feather. Ann Grader, I'm pretty sure or Scarlet House, I'm sorry. So I got that one, and then I also got the Blackbird Designs book, Sweet Land of Liberty. I've had my eye on that for a while, and I don't think I really have any patriotic stitches set up for coming up here over the summer, so I wanted to get that so I can be working on some patriotic stuff. So that was my morning pretty much. Don't have really anything else planned today other than sitting and stitching. Well, I have to get some chores done, and I'll work on those actually before I sit down to stitch. So I hope your day is going well. It is actually supposed to get up to 87 degrees here today. So like, bam, summer. Welcome to Maryland. I'm not complaining though. Give me that heat any day over the cold. Okay, time to count again. Did the 3, did 1, 2, 3, 4, now out another one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I will probably spend some time out on the pool deck again today. If you saw my Instagram post, I can't remember, did I put it? I think I put it on Stitch Mania too. I spent some time out on the deck yesterday stitching. That's my favorite place to sit in the morning and stitch until it gets too hot and sticky, because Maryland is very hot and sticky in the summers. So I like to sit out there in the cooler morning time. So hopefully I can get this up and get out there before it gets too nasty today. See, and I say nasty, but I love the heat. Like I said, I would much rather have it warm than cold. So let's see, what else? I also posted a little post on Stitch Mania yesterday. It occurred to me as I was sitting there next to my husband last night stitching away that whether he would notice that every day I'm working on a different piece. Now, he appreciates what I do. He appreciates my work. He thinks I'm very talented, whether it's the knitting or the stitching, and he loves and oohs and ahs over the finished product. He often helps me pick out my framing and how to finish it, and what colors to use, what would complement best. And so I really appreciate his help with all of that. But he's not the most observant man in the world. He doesn't pay attention to details a whole lot. I posted in that post that when I changed the Christmas wreath out for the spring wreath, it took him 3 days. He came home from work one day and looked at me rather sheepishly and said, "When did you change the wreath on the door?" Because he knew it had to have been there for a few days and he probably just hadn't noticed it. Luckily, it had only been a few days, but I still laughed at him and he laughed at himself, so it's all good. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't really know how much he pays attention to what I'm working on a daily basis. So I don't know whether he'll notice. And of course, on any given day, I'm working on something different anyway, whether it's, I pretty much have a rotation of 2 or 3 anyways that I work on within a week, plus, whatever knitting project I'm currently working on. So he's used to seeing different ones anyway. I don't know whether he'll notice then that, like, every single day for a month is different. So this will be interesting. I will report back. Hold on, time to check my counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So I'm working down the leg of the M here. Let's see, what else is going on? Not a whole lot since yesterday, of course. How much could go on whenever you pretty much stay at home all day, right? Try and keep this up in your view. So let's see, let's go back to the needleworker tag. The next question is, do you have any children? Yes, I do. I have 2 boys. The oldest is named Samuel. He is 21. He will be 22 at the end of June. The younger one is Ben. Whoops, I need to go out there. He is 19. He'll be 20 not until the end of April, or end of April, not until the end of November. They are both in Orlando. Samuel had started at a community college out of high school, thinking he was going to, first he wanted to be a physical trainer for like a sports team. His goal for years had been to work in football and be a trainer for the Steelers. The Steelers are our home team. Since I'm from Pittsburgh originally, the Steelers are our home team, and I raised my boys to like the Steelers as well. And they just happened to be my ex-husband's home team as well, even though he was raised in Virginia. Oh, shoot, I just bumped you. I'm sorry. So anyways, before long, Samuel decided he didn't want to go into that anymore. And he started looking at, event management type of things. Now, the main thing that changed is, I don't know how this is going to sound, but he got out on his own and he discovered the joys of weed. He has become my hippie, and he has embraced hippie lifestyle full-heartedly. As a mother, not, what you necessarily hope for your kids. As a woman and as a somewhat liberal, I embrace the fact that he's figuring out who he is, and he's open to the world. So he actually dropped out of community college, and we really didn't have a problem with that, because until he knows what he wants to do, there's no reason to waste money on classes that may or may not suit what he wants to do with his life. And I have a funny story about that, actually. Whenever he made that decision, he first talked to my husband about it, his stepdad. And it took him about another couple weeks before he told me. And when he finally did, and my husband, Mike, was just like, Samuel, you got to talk to your mom. You got to tell your mom. When he finally did, he started off the conversation with, "Now, don't be mad at Mike." And I'm just like, really? What is coming here? And I looked at Mike, because we were FaceTiming with Samuel at that point. And Mike's just like, "Then no mine." So, he explained. And the reason he had the conversation with Mike first is because he knows that of me, Mike, and his dad, Mike is the most liberal, and Mike would understand the most. I wasn't well pleased, but I understood the reasoning, and I really couldn't argue with it. So he has recently, through some encouragement on my part, decided that he wants to go into massage therapy. And I think that's brilliant. Hold on one second. So where am I? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I finished up the fourth. That was 5. I'm over 1 again, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So anyways, I think massage therapy will suit his lifestyle well. He really does like helping people. He likes the thought of learning more about healing, about the physical body and how it works. He's into the whole chakra and energy type of thing. And so, yeah, I think, and he eventually wants to move to Colorado or Oregon or Washington, mainly to be in a place that's cannabis friendly, although he may just stay in Florida, because eventually I think they will, even though they're a purple reddish state. I think they will. I think the country will eventually change its thinking on cannabis in general. But massage therapy will be very portable. So I'm excited for him. I hope this works out. He needs direction in his life, and he's realized that working at Domino's isn't the way to live your life if you really want to have any kind of life that you can afford, basically. So happy for him, happy for his direction. My younger son is at a school called the Dave School. It is on the back lot of Universal Studios in Orlando. It is Dave stands for the Digital Arts and Visual Effects. He is learning everything that goes into game design. My younger son, Ben, got the creative gene, and he loves to draw. He's a really good artist. And of course, as a young man in today's world, he loves gaming. So we encouraged him to marry the two, and started looking when he was in junior high school, or when he was a junior in high school. started looking at the various art schools in the general southwest or southeast region of the country. And there are quite a few, and most of them are outrageously expensive. So we found the Dave School. Now, Ben is my kid that, like I mentioned yesterday, I stayed in Sarasota for 6 months after Mike moved up here to start his job, getting Ben through high school. It was a painful 6 months for both of us. Ben knew that those classes that he was taking in high school had no relevance to what he wanted to do with his future. At the same time, he needed them to graduate, and he needed a high school diploma, right? So any classes that he didn't actually need for his high school diploma, it was a torturous time to get him actually to school and to stay in school. You know, he had his own car. He could come and go as he pleased pretty much. So, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, then 2, 3. So, we made it. But I knew at that point that sending him to a regular school that, you know, whether it's a 4-year degree program or a 2-year degree program, having him once again be taking classes that have no relevance to his career would just be a waste of money and a waste of time. And I wasn't going to do that to either of us. So the Dave School is a 12-month program, an intense, more like a tech school type of program that gets people, they're working on the software that is used in the industry. It is taught by people in the industry. So it totally teaches people what they need to know to walk onto a studio floor and be able to sit down at a computer and start doing the job. And he's loving it. As much of a struggle as the last 6 months of high school were, is like totally opposite from where he is now. He is totally dedicated. And, you know, we told him, we're paying for this. And it's not cheap for 12 months. But he said, you know, if we're willing to put this kind of money into you, invested into you, then we expect the same type of commitment from you. And he has risen to the challenge and more. I couldn't be more proud of that kid. He finishes in August. And they have every module, they have whatever they've created for the final project goes on what is called a demo reel. So he will have basically a portfolio. Whoops, I think I'm doing this wrong. Yes, I was supposed to be doing 3. So he will have basically a portfolio. I think he's already gotten his resume together. I keep bumping you, I'm sorry. So he is going to be all set, and hopefully, you know, they bring people because it's taught by people in the industry. The school is run by people in the industry. Hopefully that means he will be getting a job, if not right when the program ends, hopefully not long after. And he will probably end up in California because that's where most of the studios are. Although, interestingly enough, there is one in Wisconsin that he is interested in. So, we are excited for him. Yeah, looking forward to what the future holds for that kid. So that is my kids. I got through one question on this video. So if this keeps up, if I talk so much about every question, we may not get through even the needleworkers tag over these next 31 days. But boy, you're going to know more about me than you probably ever wanted to know. So, you know, you may just want to mute these. I don't know. It's kind of fun though. Anyways, I think we're at 24, going on 25 minutes. And yeah, I have to rip back. I can stop there because then I can do a third one there. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed today. I will be continuing to work on December the rest of the day. Tomorrow, let me show you what tomorrow is. I'm so excited. Tomorrow, I start this one, the Vintage Tulip Design Midsummer Garden. This one is from XJU Designs. That's who Vintage Tulip may be, I don't know whether that's her design name or whether that's somebody she collaborates with to create patterns that she sells on her website. But this is XJU Designs, from XJU Designs. This is her fabric. So the fabric is Rocky Mountain, and then these are her hand-dyeds. So I am very excited to start this tomorrow. Look at those colors. Isn't that gorgeous? So anyways, I hope you will join me. I hope you enjoyed today, and I hope you guys get lots of stitching time today. I will see you in the morning. Oh, one other thing I wanted to say. I haven't checked recently, but I think either early this morning or last night, I was at 998 subscribers. And as most of you know, if you watch my regular channel, at 1,000 subscribers, I am going to have a big giveaway. So I will probably be doing a giveaway video tomorrow as well. So stay tuned for that. Have a great day, guys, and I hope you have beautiful weather you can enjoy. Bye-bye.